Hey everybody, welcome to Chatting with Chops, or welcome back. Today we're going to see if we can't make a pineapple pound cake. So let's figure out if we can do this. Alright, so the first thing with any recipe is you need to collect up your ingredients. Now to start baking. We have prepared our bundt pan with spraying it with oil and putting a little bit of flour in there. And now we're going to preheat our oven to 325 degrees. And then let's start putting our little pound cake together. So we are going to put in our butter. So we have 3 sticks of butter here. And we have 2 cups of sugar, very sweet cake. And then we're going to put our eggs in, and it says to put them in 3 at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 3 on top of this, and then we'll mix it in. And then we're going to mix this for a total of about 3 to 5 minutes. I would say I'm probably going to slow it down or stop it at about midpoint so that we can put the rest of the eggs in. All right, let's see how everything looks. I think we've gotten a really good mixture going on here. Yeah, that looks really good. All right, now the next thing we want to do is we want to add in our oil, which we have 1/2 cup of canola oil. We're going to add in our milk, which we have 1/4 cup of whole milk. And I'm going to stop here and ask if there's any of my vegans watching. I would love to know how to replace 6 eggs in a pound cake in order to make it vegan. I have not been successful with replacing that many eggs. So please help me out, guys, and let me know what I can do to make that better. All right, so we're gonna pour in our 1/2 cup of pineapple juice. And then we're gonna put in our 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. And I'm usually a little heavy-handed with my vanilla bean paste. And we're just gonna blend this until it's just combined, so probably about 30 seconds. I want to show you what that looks like though. So I'm going to put it on my little timer here. Okay. Okay, that's what 30 seconds looks like. All right, so we're going to add our baking powder. We have 1 teaspoon of baking powder we're going to add in. And then we're going to start this up, and we're going to just start adding our flour 1 cup at a time, so very, very slowly. And this should take us about a minute or 2, and we're going to scrape down the sides and everything, but let's just do this slowly. Now let's knock some of that flour off. And then we're just going to scrape down the sides here a little bit. And I'm going to hit that bottom part. Okay, now we're going to put in the rest of our flour. All right, let's mix down the sides one more time. Catch the bottom. Okay, now let's mix that through real quickly. Okay, now whew, I am a messy cook. Okay, make sure all of this flour is mixed in. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to fold in our 1 cup of crushed pineapple. Oh, that made a terrible sound. Doesn't seem very much pineapple for a pineapple pound cake, does it? Okay. Now is the fun time. We get to pour it into our bundt pan. Right. Let's pour this into our bundt pan now. All right, let's see if we can smooth out this a little bit. I know this is actually the bottom, but we still want things to look pretty. And then the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna wipe off the edges of our pan because that'll burn. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to take and put this in our 325-degree oven for 40 to 50 minutes. At 45, we're going to check it and see if it's all the way cooked. Okay, I'm showing him off. The batter moved a lot when I just pulled this rack out, so he is definitely not ready to be done. I don't even need to put a toothpick in it, so I'm definitely going to give him 5 more minutes. So he's been cooking for 40 minutes, and I'm about to give him 5 more. Right, here is our beautiful pineapple pound cake. You can see I've got some browning on the edges, definitely some nice browning, and a little bit of splitting, which is what they said would happen. And then I did the toothpick test and it came out clean. So the next step we need to do is just let it sit here in the pan on a wire rack for about 30 minutes. And what it's going to do is it's just going to continue to cook, and it'll slowly cool down, and then we can turn it upside down. So we're just going to let him sit here. All right, time to see if he will come out. So I've kind of run a knife around all the edges and everything, and even in the center here. And we're just going to flip it over and hope for the best. almost lost it there. All right. Ooh. He came out when he slid. All right. That looks fantastic. Look how pretty he turned out. I am so pleased. Yeah, he turned out really good. Okay, so we're just going to let it sit here for a couple of hours and cool off. And then we'll glaze him. Okay, so now we're going to make our glaze for our beautiful pineapple pound cake. And basically what I have here is I have 2 cups of confectionery sugar, and then I've dropped about a tablespoon of cornstarch on the top of it. I've heard that that is supposed to help the confectionery sugar not clump together. So I'm gonna drop that in my bowl. And then we're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of our pineapple juice reserve. Start that. And then we're just going to whisk that up. And basically what we're looking for is a glaze that's the consistency of honey. I don't think that's the consistency of honey right now, so we might need to add a little bit more. Okay. Now I'm just trying to get the clumps out. Still seems rather thick. I know honey is thick and I still have clumps, so evidently the cornstarch did not help with that. But hey, we all try different ideas. All right, let's see if we can't get some glaze on here. I'll just try and see if I can pour it out of the bowl a little bit. I have a feeling that I'm going to end up with a good bit on my cake plate, but the goal is to get it all the way around. This is turning out so pretty. Okay. All right. Ah, that turned out beautiful. Now you will see that there's a little lip on my cake plate that is filled with glaze at the moment, so we'll have to clean all that up before we can close it, but that turned out beautifully. I'm so happy with that. So we're just going to let him sit and absorb a good bit of that glaze, and then I'll come back and we'll try it. All right, let's cut us a piece of this beautiful cake and try some. So I've left the glaze for about an hour, and so it has firmed up a good bit. Oh yeah. I'm just going to cut me a little tiny piece because this looks lovely. And the first piece is always the hardest to get out too. Oh, that just looks lovely. Okay. Look how moist that looks. Oh, that is just Gorgeous. All right, let's try it. Okay, please don't mind my hair. It's been a crazy day. So here is our beautiful pineapple pound cake with our pineapple glaze, and we're going to try a bite. Mmm. That is so yummy. Oh, that is just gorgeous. It's so soft and sweet and just a light hint of the pineapple. Just gorgeous. Hope y'all like this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch y'all on the next bake.